Beneath the fro is immense, and this show is intense. Welcome back to the Rant. I am your host, Jeremy Writt. Down on the end of the table, Mace Thomas, a.k.a. the Great Tiger. Brad Bellamy, a.k.a. Don Flamingo. Josh Davidson, a.k.a. Glass Joe. And as I said, they call me Afro Thunder. We're back for our third show. We're having a little fun. If you saw last week, we're trying to flip things up a little bit. We got our regular cast back, and we got a couple of new wrinkles for you this week. But stay tuned and watch. What do you guys think about the new changes?
Well, last show was a lot better. The first show, well, it wasn't so good, but like I said last week, we definitely are moving on up.
Listen, all that nastiness in the past, we're just going to leave that in the past and keep rolling every week as we go on. But our first segment, as always, is called Rant Down the Line, where each one of us takes an issue that's been bothering us in the sports world, and we just, give a little bit of a release. So, Mace, I'm going to release the mic over to you. Tell me, what's got you mad, son?
What's got me mad? Well, this week, I think I'm a little upset about free agency. I want to talk about how some players, well, actually in NFL and in basketball and other sports, there used to be franchise players.
Make up your mind, Mace. Come on.
There aren't franchise players anymore. All players are capable of being traded at any time.
Matt Geiger is a franchise player.
But nobody wants him.
In the CBA.
No, Kurt Rambis was a franchise player.
But Kurt Rambis was good, though.
Hey, don't talk about Kurt, man. He has skills.
He did.
That dude got rebounds and plus the goggles.
Really, what y'all know about Brad Lojas?
Whoa.
Hey. All right, Mace.
The truth is, these players can't stay in a city for a long time because the salary caps are changing, free agency is changing, everybody is trying to move, everybody is trying to make more money, or like Brad says, everybody's trying to move on up. And these players shouldn't be allowed to do that. I want to see some franchise players. I want to see some good old-fashioned Larry Bird, some people who stay in Boston for years.
Mace, just in case you're getting emotional again, last week I failed with the two-ply, but this week I got some two-ply for you.
Say, that's already been used. Don't bring your used stuff up in here.
Oh, man.
You better throw that away.
Once again,
trying to get ghetto up in here.
Foul.
This
Brad
is not ghetto.
Man, how you going party foul all the time, man?
This in Inglewood,
Hey,
dude.
he
It's not the
complained last week
projects.
about not having two-ply, so I brought him some two-ply.
See, I try not to get colloquial, but Memphis.
Colloquial.
Said colloquial.
Hey, in Q, how many points is
They want to
QU
hate on my
worth?
vocabulary.
I don't know.
Josh,
I think that's
how many
8
points
points.
is QU worth?
That's 8
Brothers
points.
from Memphis, they're
that's
kind of
20.
dirty. We need to watch on that. But you know what? We're gonna keep going. Brad, I don't
Why
mean
you gotta be hating on Memphis?
Hey, I don't mean to diss on your whole town, but you're only good as your last product. And two-ply last week, this used tissues.
Speaking about last product, King Griffey Jr. Man, when he went to Cincinnati, everybody was calling him the franchise player. He was going to turn the city around, the program around, and they were going to go to the World Series. Did that happen? Did that happen? No. What did King Griffey Jr. bat last year? In the 270s. He was lifetime career batting of like 295. Then he goes to 270s. And then this past week, this guy named Tom Verducci for CNN SI, he wrote an article about Griffey last August saying that he was playing subpar, stuff like that. Griffey started verbally lashing at him this past week at spring training. Now, I understand that you don't like people talking bad about you, but when you aren't playing and you're getting paid that much money, then for Pete's sake, he got what he deserved. Y'all agree?
See, I'm kind of, I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think just because you're getting paid millions of dollars, anyone should be able to disrespect you like that. Because, if I'm a doctor and I'm stacking cheese and then some punk comes up in the street like, your Hippocratic oath is whack or something like that. I don't want to have
cheese is money.
Hey, but it's different though, man, because doctors don't go from saving 100 lives a year to killing 5 people.
I mean, you may not know that they don't tell you, but some people are slipping
Still.
up in the operating room.
But still, man, they're getting paid because they perform.
Yeah, it isn't always as good as it is on ERA.
Anyways, we'll be right back with Josh's rant and Jeremy's rant after these messages.
And welcome back to the Rant. We're at our time to rant and to rave about what we're
You said rant and rave.
what we're upset about. Let me say, though, before we begin this segment on the second half of the desk, this is a hardcore segment. This segment is more raw and uncut than this dude's breath. I thought he was going to. I was smelling something. I thought he took his shoes off.
I got a winter breath.
Whisper something to me. I had to roll back.
Breath smells so bad, he chew a jawbreaker.
Bottom line is, what are we ranting about today? We've got a lot of different things. We've got the NBA, we've got football, we've got baseball. But I want to talk to you about collegiate sports. I want to talk to you about those prima donnas. Don't they make you upset, making millions and millions of dollars? Maybe that's why they leave. I don't know. All I know is that they're losing valuable skills that they could use in the NBA. Why would a boy like Elton Brand, a man who would leave a college program like Duke, Mike Krzyzewski, one of the greatest coaches in the in NCAA, had a little spit there, I'm sorry. Why would he...
You need some of this Cormega? You need some Cormega?
That's Carmax, ghetto face.
Yeah, for real.
Man, that's Cormega.
Why would, but really, why would Elton Brand leave? Why would Kevin Garnett
Cormega?
jump from high school? You tell me why.
I think it's money. It has to be the money.
It's got to be, but they're losing skills in
a song
exchange
about
for
that?
money. They're losing skills in exchange for money. So the bottom line is these prima donnas are a definite no-go, and they're hurting themselves and their teams from their immaturity.
Mace is doing the Vogue.
He said Madonna.
No, he said prima donna. And I want to talk about prima donnas, too. There are a couple of prima donnas at Harding University, and they're getting coaches fired. Yes, I'm not going to name any names, but you know who I'm talking about. At Harding University, that is not good business.
We better
When you
back
let
up, fellas.
Your star players, yes, he was leading the nation in scoring at the time. Yes, they were good contributors to the team.
Hot over there.
But it is not good business to fire coaches because of the whims of a few players. Now, if he was being negligent, that's one thing. But if he's not, don't rock the boat. If the team is doing well, it's a first-year program. That's not the kind of program you want to start off. And after you decide you want to make a change, why do you fire the guy the same day that you hire the new guy? You don't tell him until you've already hired his replacement? That's kind of shady. We don't want to do it like that. Also, why do you hire an outsider with no college experience when you have alumnus of the school who want the job, who are willing to do the job, who have, more experience, who've been coaching and playing for over 20 years? It's not too smart, Harding
Jeremy, you
University.
getting pretty raw over there, aren't you?
I am getting a little raw. It's got me mad, man. This called the Rant. It's got me raw.
told you it was raw.
I'm fed up.
I told you it was wrong.
I mean,
I think Josh needs to get some more of that spit and give you a nice cold shower.
I mean,
You're just getting hot over there.
there's just certain
Telling you.
protocols you need to follow.
Telling you.
And they're just not.
You need someone to slick your hair back because it's a little puffy today.
Sometimes, hey, hold on. I lost my pick. See, I was riding my bike over here because, I'm two-wheeling all the time. I'm not a big baller like Mace. But, I was two-wheeling and I lost the pick. But anyway, I don't want to get too far off the subject. Harding University, I'm not naming any names, but you know who's involved. And I couldn't get Zangaro for an interview. I couldn't get the players for an interview. Everyone, it's like some big gag order. I think you try to get stuff for the news.
I try to get Zingaro too.
The
This point in
baby.
my life is over right now. That's what he said. That's what he said. The chapter is done.
He said the chapter's closed. Well, you know what? The Rant doesn't ever close. We'll be back with the rest of the show and Nick Howell's This Week in Sports after these messages.
Goodbye.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Nick Allen. Here is the happenings of this week in sports. Baseball Hall of Famer Eddie Matthews dies. Matthews hit 512 home runs in his major league career. Matthews was the only Brave to play for these organizations' three cities, Boston, Milwaukee, and now, of course, in Atlanta. In college football, 18-year-old Devon Darling dies after an off-season workout. Darling was to be the starting linebacker for FSU's up-and-coming season. In baseball, Frank Thomas and Sammy Sosa finally showed up to their respective clubs for spring training. They are both looking for mo money, but the answer looks like no money. With 20 games left in the NHL season, the playoff race is beginning to heat up. The Eastern Division has 10 teams in the playoff hunt, while in the much tighter Western Division, there is 12 teams looking to fill 8 playoff spots. Anybody want an NBA team? It's from Canada. The Vancouver Grizzlies are looking for a new home. The hopeful cities are New Orleans, Anaheim, and Louisville. St. Louis wanted the Grizzlies, but remember when St. Louis had an NBA team? Remember the St. Louis Hawks? That's why. Also in the NBA, the Bulls are dead last. Maybe the Grizzlies should move to Chi-Town, and the city would have a combined 27-win season. Deion's at it again. He reported to Red spring training camp in Sarasota, Florida. He looks like he wants to play baseball again. Does this guy ever take a vacation? NASCAR remembers the life and times of its greatest champion, Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt died last week at the Daytona 500. Adrian and Steve will have more on this. But first, I'm going to answer a few of the emails that we got. This week, we've got a few good suggestions. One from Keith Rushka. He writes that he would like to see more interviews with Harding athletes. He would also like to see more club sports scenes. And he also like more of a circle table discussion, round table discussion. Also, we got one vote for Jeremy to dance more and one vote for Jeremy not to dance anymore at all. Well, Adrian, it's all your buddy.
Thanks, Nick. A week and a half ago, when Dale Earnhardt died, I learned a valuable lesson. I've been a NASCAR fan for more than half my life. It was about 14 years ago when I went to my first race in Darlington, South Carolina. I saw my favorite driver, the legendary Richard Petty, finish third. It would be the last time that he would finish that high before he retired. I don't even remember who won, but I was hooked for life. Since I've been following NASCAR, I've had several favorite drivers, but there's always been one driver that I love to hate, Dale Earnhardt. It seemed like every time one of my favorite drivers was close to winning a race, that black number 3 would bump him out of the way, and Earnhardt would go on to win. I would get so mad at this man that I'd never met. I pleaded with the NASCAR officials, on TV of course, to penalize him, but they would never listen. So, whenever he was involved in an accident, I cheered. February 18th, on the last lap of one of the most exciting races I'd ever seen, when it looked like Dale Earnhardt had a chance to win, I was hoping he would crash. He did crash, and I did cheer. After all, I've seen him survive much worse. Little did I know that that would be the last time I'd get to cheer against him. He was a very talented driver, many say the best ever, and his absence from NASCAR will be evident for a long time to come. As one fan put it, I cheered when you crashed, I cried when you died. I will truly miss cheering against the Intimidator. This week, NASCAR, using the if you fall off a horse theory, decided to go on with this week's race. But Sunday afternoon, it was not meant to be. Rain, or as some called it, tears from heaven, caused NASCAR to postpone the Deer Loop 400 after they had completed just 55 of the scheduled 393 laps. So, in front of a sparse crowd Monday, the race was completed, and in true Dale Earnhardt fashion, Dale Earnhardt Incorporated driver Steve Park bumped and banged Bobby Labonte on the last lap to take his second career win and the second consecutive win by a DEI driver. That was a fitting tribute. And while we will all miss Dale Earnhardt, he will always be a legend in the sport that he helped make one of the fastest growing sports in the world. Stay tuned for Sports IQ when the rant returns.
Get the keys. Friends, don't let friends drive drunk.
And welcome back to Harding's only sports show, and perhaps the greatest one ever. Andrea Reed, my special in-studio guest for our Sports IQ segment. Now, Andrea, I want you to know this is usually the most serious part of our show. So I'm going to ask you a question that's been asked to some other peers and students of yours, and it is asked in the Student Center and on scene a little bit like that. And the question is, for this week, what is a hat trick? So I'm going to go ahead and let you think about that for a little while. Nick Howell went out, a good friend of mine, to find out what everybody else thought about a hat trick. Nick?
What is a hat trick? When you hit it. Okay. That's right, right?
Yeah, sure.
What trick? It's a play that's done in a sport.
A play that's done in a sport. What sport?
Hockey?
Oh, okay.
Oh gosh! Stop the tape! Stop the tape! Stop the tape! Please don't. Do I look at you?
Yeah.
No.
Camera.
Okay.
All right. What is a hat trick?
It's in hockey when you like make somebody out before you
All right, so you fake them. Fake them out.
Fake them out.
Fake them out. Okay. What is a hat trick? Come on, give me something. What is a hat trick?
It's a dance that you do playing golf.
Okay. What is a hat trick?
A hat trick is when you have a hat on your head, you do triple flip.
Okay. Okay.
All right, well, that's, what do you think, Andrea?
Okay. A hat trick is where there are 3 goals in a hockey game or a soccer game, I think, right?
Wow, that is very, very good. I didn't know that at first. Of course, I got the inside on the answer. Thank you so much for that answer, Andrea, and you will not walk away empty-handed. Pizza Inn has agreed to give you a medium pizza, and we'll be glad to give you one of those. Let me tell you, you can get that Pizza Inn medium pizza by emailing us at therant16@hotmail.com. You can come on in here in the studio and try to tingle your brain with the Sports IQ question of the week. Stay with us. Bonus or Bogus is coming up next.
Stack of cards.
Please don't get him started. We just got him off having his ears pierced.
Well, that was
That was last year.
great, I know. Thanks, Grandpa, Grandma.
Let's see it.
We're all anxious to see it. We're looking across. That's like Dad's jewelry, whatever, store, a jewelry store.
Right there, that piece you threw. Right.
Thank you, Grandpa, Grandma.
Get the keys. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
Welcome back to the Rant. This is time for the bonus or bogus section. This week's topic, the blockbuster trade between the Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks traded Mutombo and Rashawn McLeod to the Sixers for Theo Ratliff, Tony Kukoc, Nazr Muhammad, and Pepe Sanchez. And we're talking about whether it's a bonus, meaning good, or a bogus, meaning bad. Mace, you're first up to bat. I'm not a conformist.
Never mind. Mutombo. Mutombo is an excellent player, also known as Mount Mutombo because he's huge. He's 7 foot infinity. Mutombo really blocks the paint. He plays well on the inside.
He blocks the paint?
Yeah, he blocks the paint. You think that's cool? Start over. I don't want to say that.
Come on.
No, start over.
Dude, I started laughing at you. I was like,
I forgot
you
to say the
can't
only
clap
sports
me
show.
like that,
Did I mess
dude.
up?
We can laugh.
Welcome back to the Rant, the only sports show. It's time for the bonus or bogus section, and this week's topic is the blockbuster trade between the Hawks and the Philadelphia 76ers. The Hawks traded Mutombo and Rashawn McLeod for Theo Ratliff, Tony Kukoc, Nazr Muhammad, and Pepe Sanchez. We want to know, Mace, is it bonus or is it bogus?
All right.
I shall not conform.
It's definitely a bonus. Let's talk about the facts here. Like Jeremy said, it's a blockbuster. Mutombo definitely is a blockbuster. He fills up the paint and he blocks anything that comes in his way. He's in his 10th season. He's a 7-time All-Star, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, and he also has led the NBA in blocks 3 consecutive years. Let's talk about a good player. You know, they call him Mount Mutombo. They should call him No Soup for You, because when you bring it to the hole, no soup for you, because Mutombo is banging it out of there. No player can take it in on Mutombo. He plays tough. He plays real good defense. He should be Defensive Player of the Year. These highlights here is from the All-Star game where he played really good. I think he could have even been an MVP candidate for this game. Mutombo is an excellent player. I'm definitely going with bonus. You know, earlier in the last week's show, I said that the 76ers wouldn't have a chance of winning the championship. Well, with Mutombo on their side, they may have a chance. Right?
Speaking of last week's segment, I said Iverson would lead the 76ers to the championship, and my prediction will become true because Mutombo is really the only name that matters in all this blockbuster trade, as Jeremy likes to put it, because it's not really that big of a blockbuster trade because Mutombo is the only player on there that's that good.
He's the only one I got highlighted.
I mean, Pepe Sanchez, he stinks like Pepe Le Pew.
That means he
ain't got
plays
no
goofy.
game. Ain't got no game. But Mutombo does have a lot of game. Like Mace just put it. He blocks shots, he gets rebounds, he puts up points. And McLeod, he has more points than Kukoc, and you think Kukoc is all good. Kukoc hadn't played well since, This guy named Jordan.
Ooh. I think
Mutombo is a bonus for the 76ers. Josh, it's your turn to be right also.
before you go, Josh, that's 2 bonuses for those at home that are counting.
Well, we talk about what he did and what he will do. Let's talk about what he did last night. He's with this new team already. Let's go straight to the highlight reel. Last night, the 76ers, there he is, Mount Mutombo, getting it done early. The pass from Snow, I will dunk on you, number 55. There it is, dunk on them. But the main thing is his presence on the court. What does it bring to the team? Allen Iverson blazing the net for 26 points on the night. He usually has 40 points on the night, but Mutombo had 21. You see what's happening here, folks, is confidence is coming to the 76ers. That's what you need for a championship team. The reason that Jordan only scored 26 points a night is because he had a supporting cast of Pippen, a supporting cast of Horace Grant, B.J. Armstrong.
Bill Cartwright.
Bill Cartwright. He was wrecking
Bill
shop.
Cartwright.
They knew what they were doing.
That's a party foul.
Bill Cartwright was not wrecking that thing.
Hey, what y'all know about Bill Wellington?
No. I said that though. Remember that day in chapel when Jonathan Storm, the guy asked who wore the rec specs, Jonathan Storm goes, Bill Cartwright, and then this guy in the audience goes, no, you stupid idiot.
We don't
It was
remember
Horace
that,
Grant.
Brad.
Jeremy,
Anyway.
I must have been sick that day.
bonus or bogus? I got bogus on Mutombo. Give it to us.
That's 3 bonuses, but I'm going to have to be just a little bit different this week because I think it's a definite bogus. It's not a good trade. You want to know why? One simple reason. The 76ers were a good defensive team before they got Mutombo. Defense was not their problem. Offense was their problem. And Mutombo is not bringing it. Yeah, he had 21 points last night, but, you know, he's a spring chicken right now. He's happy to be in a new city. He's a little excited, but when you get to the playoffs, his real game will come out. Mutombo has been in the league for a long time. They say he's 34. They say he's 34, but I think he's a little bit older than that.
Know what his real game is.
Hold on. What real game? He has no real game.
Oh, that's blocking shots.
Okay,
and
his real game is blocking shots and playing defense. But the thing is, they didn't need extra defense. They were a great defensive team, and you take away Tony Kukoc. Hold on. Hear me out. You take away Tony Kukoc, and granted he was only scoring 8 points a game, but he was in Larry Brown's doghouse. And as you all know, and as Allen Iverson knows, the doghouse is a very dark place in Philadelphia. Now, you take away Kukoc and Theo Ratliff, who is an up-and-coming young center, playing out of position but still playing valiantly. At 6'10", he was doing work. He was putting in work. Mutombo, they brought to help them bring them out of the East. They were going to come out the East anyway. But let me tell you, the people on the West, they are not afraid of Mutombo. That stuff you saw in the All-Star game, that was an exhibition. But you best believe when Shaq Diesel comes to town that Mutombo will get drop step all the way back to the motherland.
Right.
So he does not want to go. He does not want to bring it. And also,
no,
bro, I'm rolling now.
No, you're not.
I'm from Britain.
Not just Shaq. I was talking about Africa. Not just Shaq can Mutombo not cover. He cannot cover the speedier David Robinson. He cannot cover the smarter Sabonis and Vlade Divac of the league. Mutombo was a great basketball player. But in the West, they are too good and too talented and too big for Mutombo. He's 7'2", yes. But if you have Shaq and you're 7'2", 340, little spindly Mutombo is not going to do a thing.
Yeah, but what is Matt Geiger going to do?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the trade is just frivolous. It's extra. It's not going to help them.
said
It's not going to help them win the championship.
I want to get back.
frivolous,
I want to get
that's
back
like
to what you
10
said a second
points.
ago.
That's
You
10
said
vocabulary
you
points.
said the Sixers had a whole lot of defense. You said the Sixers had a whole lot of defense before Mutombo. But I remember last week he started hating on me saying Iverson had no defense.
Iverson has no defense.
Iverson does
Team
have defense.
has defense.
Iverson's part of that team. That
There's a
team has
difference.
come
There's a
together.
I think you're
Mutombo.
partial to
There's a difference.
Mutombo because you have an afro. So that means
Wait,
you guys.
you said he was a spring chicken. Do they have
Never
spring
mind.
chickens in the motherland?
They have.
Somebody say chicken.
They have all. Well, you know, see,
He's
look,
from Zimbabwe. That's why he's so skinny.
I'm black, and you know, if I'm gonna go with the food, you know, the chicken's gonna be the first thing to come out of my brain. So you know.
Hey, you said it, not us.
Yeah.
I did, you know,
And you know what?
I
Get some
stand up.
Popeye.
Just so you know,
I'd
it's
have
a bogus. No, it's not just a bogus. It's a Mutombogus because he has one-sided game, just like Allen. He's the apple to Allen Iverson's orange. One plays defense, one plays offense, and you need. Everyone knows you need 3 proven scorers in the playoffs to get a championship.
He's talking
That's
too
why
much.
the
He's
Lakers
digging a hole.
That's why the Lakers got Rice last
He's fixing
year.
to dig a hole
They
back
got
to
the
the
ring.
motherland, Jeremy.
Who's the second man scoring on the Sixers offense? Who's the third man? Are you going to rely on Mutombo to bring you 20 points a night against
Up 10
Shaq?
points a game. Jeremy,
against
your
Shaq?
Your statement's not no good, dude.
Where's the motherland? I'm from
Jeremy.
Europe.
That's
Hey.
a sign. That's a definite sign. We need to cut this out. As always, we go out on highlights. Check these
The
highlights
Tumbo's gonna
and
break
check
Shaq
us next week.
like
but
that.
before we let you go, you need to email us. We thank you for the emails we got, but email us at therant16@hotmail.com. I'm not going to spell it for you because it's on your screen.
Vanna
And
White.
as I said, I've already got all my vocabulary points for the
I'm
week.
from the mother-
But tune in next week, and we'll bring you more energy, more sports with personality on TV 16.